So, Wesley Fofana has gone. He's gone to Chelsea. Kind of all knew it was happening with the deadline lane closing tomorrow. We knew it was going to happen. However, still feels weird. I don't know about you guys. I'm long story short, I think I'm quite glad he's gone. The toxicity, I'm hoping the club can pick up from this because the way he threw his toys at the pram, it's really kind of non-acceptable. He was a good player. And this is I've been thinking about making this video obviously for a while, but thinking about what is his legacy going to be at Leicester City? Are we going to remember him as, even if he gave us even if he went next year, I would totally understand. The fact that we're in a dire situation, let's be honest, in terms of the finances, of the transfers, in terms of the manager, we're in a dire situation at Leicester, bottom of the table at the moment. So how are they going to be remembered? And I was thinking about this just as he joined. Obviously, Knight joined in 2020 during the pandemic. Came in with his first game against Aston Villa, and thought, this guy's got it. He's just hit the ground running, and he's played some good football. At Leeds, I remember he played in the back three of him, Christian Fuchs, and James Justin. And I was thinking, wow, Wes Fofana is a great player. However, and obviously the FA Cup, he played fantastically when Johnny Evans came in, substituting for him. But all of that almost doesn't matter. Not because I don't appreciate his performance and thank him for helping him win the FA Cup. It's not what you do; it's how you go about doing it. And I don't believe he's gone about it in the right way. He said some things that, and he's not left it yet. I mean, I'll bring up some things just in terms of obviously Chelsea have confirmed him. Let's get this bit up. I hope to be like the agent. I'm ready to give everything. Again, so Chelsea fans will be absolutely lapping it up, and rightfully so. I think one thing, again, sorry for this, I wanted to find this one, a dream realized. He said this as well about a dream realized. Again, I'll take that off because I don't want to get copyright striked, hopefully, from Chelsea. But he's saying a dream realized. He's saying very similar things to Leicester. And do you know what? Credit to us, credit to him. We lapped it up as Leicester fans. We lapped it all up, going, he's back. He's committed himself to 5 years. Just to show you again, I'll show you something that I posted. Something came across my timeline recently. I was like, bruh, what has happened here? Yeah, this came. I had this recently. Where's Fofana? This is my club. I love the fans. Now look what's happened. 5 months later, he is now gone and signed for Chelsea. Now, as a Leicester fan, I totally understand if you want to go to another team. It's how you go about doing it. And he's gone about it the completely wrong way. The first chance he heard that Chelsea was in, down tools. And left us in a real tight spot. The club finances aren't great. It's been reported by John Percy, Rob Tanner, and especially since St Etienne get a 25% cut. So they're grinning from ear to ear at the moment, I think, in the second division of French football. However, they're going fantastic. With us, it's left us in a real tricky spot. I think Susan Whelan was getting involved to try and get this sorted out, but it's sorted now. And what is his legacy? Coming back to my initial question, what is his legacy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think he'll be remembered at Leicester City? In my opinion, it will be thank you, but I'm glad you've gone, and I'm glad to see the back of you. Not because I don't appreciate what I've done. It's the way you've gone about it. You've just signed a 5-year contract, and you've already thrown in the bag and said, "Screw this. I'm going to do everything in my power to get people to screw everybody over." It's St Etienne. St Etienne fans are smoking a cigarette, going, what did I tell you? This thing was coming. He didn't say anything to you." Totally understand. Some Chelsea fans are saying, it's a 4-year contract, 6-year contract. He signed a contract with us. It's a more question for him. And is this the way that you want to remember? Because at times you will come down in your career. There's a lot of expectations of Chelsea, and I think you'll thrive for a bit. However, when the criticism comes, and my God, does it come with Chelsea? And with any top 6 club, there's more expectation. Or any kind of massive, what you think of a massive massive European club. There's an expectation there. And when you don't perform, we shall see. People don't forget how you made us, what you did to get us, and we won't forget now what we did to St Etienne. Even before I think an official announcement was even announced, he'd already thrown in the towel and said, "I want to leave. Leicester are calling me. It's my next opportunity." The people that will be there on your way up won't be there on your way down. I'm not saying he's going to fall massively, but be prepared to, just in general, I think is a good life advice. Be prepared who you trample on your way up, because they won't be there in the long term. I think it's a really disappointing way to end his Leicester City career. If he gave us one more year and he goes, look, I'm going to give my best and see what happens, and I'll leave next year, as was planned, I could understand. Cool, he gave it a go, no problem. Now he's just at the first opportunity of a bid, he's dropped and left us in a hole. And we will come on to Wout in a second. Wout Faiz, I can't say his name. Another Belgian. We'll look at him a little bit later, but I just wanted to share you as well, those of you that haven't seen it, his comments about Rodgers and the management and everything. Bearing in mind, just before I get onto that, what was his process? Obviously injured in the preseason, awful leg break, was out for such a long time. The Leicester owners paid for him, cared for him, made him get through the recovery, came back against Rennes. Again, that's a memorable moment of him coming back against Rennes and heading that goal in his first game back, even after going 1-0 down. I think it was just poor. And it shows you the player power that there is now. That I understand Leicester dropping their price, I think, to about 60 million without add-ons. I think that's what the total amount is. However, he's really forced Leicester's hand. It was either we lose 70 million or we're going to lose a player. We're going to lose him and he's going to bench, and then that entity is going to be there rotting up the club. And you saw it with the likes of Aubameyang, what that does to the squad. I don't think it's particularly healthy. But let me show you some of the comments he put in on his Instagram. Again, one thing that I did find funny, I think initially when he wrote in for them, LCFC, he put LFC. Again, that could just be a slip of the tongue. Okay, could be anything. Thank you, Fox's fans. Blah 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 blah. Never forget how you vibrated. Didn't really come across in terms very well. Anyway, exalted. I'm not very clever, so I don't know what that word means. But the bit I want to mention again, top for his understanding. Thank you to those managers, to the coach, to those managers. Again, to the coach who always appreciated me, even though he chose to expose me a lot lately. I got it, coach. Now, as you guys know, I'm not a big fan of Brendan Rodgers. However, it's kind of pot calling the kettle black. Don't put this all on Brendan. Brendan's handled this relatively well, in my opinion. I think he's handled this good, well. Don't put this on Brendan. And I'll be the first person to throw Brendan under the bus when he says something stupid, when he comes off the fans, when he uses stupid excuses. But I don't think Brendan's played this well. He said as the bids come in, 2 bids come in, 3rd bids come in. There's been no update. That's not my area of expertise. I work with. That's not my expertise. I'll work with transfers and things like that as well. Fofana's forced this. Fofana forced this massively. And Chelsea fans, if you're watching, this same thing will happen to you in 2 years. And I'm not saying it to be bitter and angry. Just look at his track record. St Etienne, Leicester, Chelsea, his dream club. He mentioned his dream. His dream isn't here. His dream is to go on to Real Madrid. Trust me, he'll do the same thing to you in 2 years' time. 70 million is a lot for a player for 2 years. And also, he lowered his valuation because Leicester City have gone, because he decided to down tools, reducing his wage. In terms of he'll earn more than he is at Leicester, I think double the amount, or maybe more than double. However, in terms of, he is a generational talent. In terms of the way he's gone about it, he could have held out for extra money and gone, do you know what, club, you know what's best. It makes you look at Harry Maguire, and then Brendan Rodgers handled it very well, in the same way that the Maguire situation, credit to Brendan, handled that fantastically. The current Yuri situation, at time of recording, we're not sure if he's going to leave or not. Again, 1 day before the transfer window, whether that's going to be the case. The fact that I just think it's poor. It's poor not from the club, even though the club should face some criticism, not in terms of this, in terms of the transfer and how we've gone about spending this money and at the moment. Anyway, so him going to force his move. I think people don't forget People do not forget. This will live in the memory. Look at Mahrez. He achieved so much with us, but his reputation has been tarnished because of the way he went about leaving. And Fofana is down tools in a way that's kind of similar to Riyad Mahrez, but it makes Mahrez look like a golden boy, which is I never thought I'd say that. Yeah, I never thought I'd say that with a professional player. It just shows how much power they have now. It's disappointing. It's really disappointing. Again, they confirmed it today in terms of Brendan Rodgers, I think, confirmed it. Sorry, not Brendan Rodgers. I'll look at the press conference. Leicester City have reached an agreement for the transfer of Wesley Fofana. That's it. They've not said goodbye, all the best Wes. You know, something like that. Best luck with Wes and things like that as well. They've not even said that. They've just literally just said that again. I think they're really annoyed with the situation. But at least this saga is over. At least this saga is done because it was toxic at the club as it was. And his last performance against Martinelli, also against Arsenal, he was nowhere near the levels that he was supposed to be. And at that time, I think a couple of bids had come in from Chelsea and been rejected. His mind wasn't in it. He knew he wanted to leave. And even 6 months into a new contract, 5 years, he decided to down tools. 5 years, 2027. Long time. But yeah, people don't forget. So who is his replacement? If you've been interested in Leicester City, again, I've done a little teeny bit of research. Again, I'm trying to keep this video short because you know I can ramble on for time. Wout Freys. Okay. I don't really know anything about him. I can't say I watch Rennes. I think that's how you say their name. That club in France. Height 187, so relatively tall. He reminds me very much of Soyuncu. Both, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Time will tell. Let's see if he works out. He's obviously a step down from Fofana. He's 24, again, so a little bit, again, coming into his prime. Young player, defender. I believe that he can play. He's apparently can play in a DM position, which shows he's more attacking. And from what I've seen, again, first line breaker for those that similar position to what we were looking for Lacroix and Tapsoba as well, both similar. So I'm glad they've managed to move quickly. So they knew this was confirmed, and then they were going to move quickly. Hopefully, we can get this in before the end of the window. And there's been another couple of people we're looking at as well, but nothing confirmed as of yet. This is the closest one in terms of, well, is he going to be as good as Fofana? No. I think Fofana was a one-off, and I think the opportunity that happened was a one-off. But let's see how he does. There will be, I think, him, Fofana, and Soyuncu, because Soyuncu is falling right out of favour, and Evans in a back three. So Evans in the middle, him on the right, Soyuncu on the left. That could work. That could make up for the defensive frailties. However, the mentality is in the dirt, and it's time that hopefully we can get this over and done with now. Fofana's really not messed things up. It's given us a little bit of money, and it's allowed us to get the ball rolling a day before the window closes, which is not great. But yeah, not great position at the moment. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe. Again, I'm trying not to go too long because I could talk about this for a long time. And again, hopefully this is out before the chat with Flawless is out. So I'm trying to get this done because it's literally ASAP for this one. Not great. But yeah, we move. We're behind the club. This is going to be tough. This is going to be a tough old battle until at least December, until the World Cup. We can regroup, re-go again, and see what happens then. Because we're not in a good spot. But long term, we hopefully will get better. This feels like 16, 17 all over again. Not in a good way. The transfers we haven't signed, but the money was spent wrongly in poor places. I just hope that the club learn from this. And it doesn't help with the character like Fofana. World-class talent. Mentality of a dustpan. Not good. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see everybody in the next video. So goodbye.